Well, folks, we're visiting today with Corey Lilly and Andy Williamson. They're both with the Brad and Alys Smith Outdoor Economic Development Collaborative at West Virginia University. That's a mouthful. Andy is the Director of Outdoor Economic Development, and Corey is one of the Outdoor Community Development Managers. Guys, thank you for being here. It's so great to have you in the podcast studio.
We're excited.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Positively West Virginia is powered by Breezeline high-speed fiber internet and sponsored by Highmark West Virginia, Freedom Key of Morgantown, and Storymaker. With the help of these sponsors, we are able to share the positive business stories of West Virginians, including the one featured in today's episode.
Guys, as we talk about the Outdoor Economic Development Initiative here in West Virginia, it's a lot. And so, Andy, I'd maybe like to start with you. Give us a big picture view of like what that means for the state of West Virginia, outdoor economic development.
Yeah, well, first and foremost, outdoors is West Virginia.
That's right.
Right? Like you all love it. We love it.
Yeah.
It's ingrained in the fabric of who we are here as mountaineers in the state.
Yeah.
And, across the nation, it's been a big movement around thinking about how do we, since 2018, really understand, measure, and accelerate the growth of the broader outdoor economy that is now a $1.2 trillion GDP. That's bigger than oil and gas, pharmaceuticals, healthcare. It's not bigger than insurance, which a couple other small ones, but it's a huge deal. And we, with the amazing assets, businesses, public lands we have here in the state, and with our communities that are right up next to them, have a huge opportunity to take advantage of that as a way to make sure that we are attracting and retaining talent. So the outdoors is a key factor. Active, healthy lifestyles is now the essential non-essential. It's the first thing people want when they're looking for a place to grow, to move their families, and to have their careers, given how we can basically pick and choose where we want to live now. We haven't been able to do that over the last couple decades. So now today, especially post-COVID, the outdoors are a key draw. And I don't know if you I've seen the stats in our population, but we've lost 12% of our population since 1950. And that's hard for us to fix a lot of our economic challenges and a lot of things that we face here in the state. So we believe, at least our approach and tactic at the Smith OEDC, is outdoors is a key way to attract and retain that talent to help solve some of the challenges we face in West Virginia.
Absolutely. From the perspective of the average person out there watching this, it's been 5 years or so since the OEDC was set up.
Yeah.
Was that a vision of Brad and Alys Smith to kind of put money toward this and try to tap into that? Is that how the whole thing got started at WVU?
The OEDC really came together through Greg Corio and Danny Twilley, thinking about this idea of leveraging and harnessing the power of the outdoors. And Brad Smith, at a speech that they both heard somewhere in the state, I can't remember the exact event they were at, was on the stage and really gave them the spark and gave them the idea to leverage remote work as a way to do that and have outdoors and that quality of life and sense and place around the outdoors.
Was it tied into the pandemic and the whole remote work thing? Is that the timing?
It was right in that same time frame. Yeah. Absolutely.
Perfect timing.
So it was perfect timing, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Corey, I called you a legend when we were talking off camera in the outdoor space. Tell us what kind of got you started in this industry.
Yeah, so first and foremost, I'm a 10th generation West Virginian. My family settled down in the New River Gorge region around Hinton. And so I grew up in back of a holler, and my grandparents and parents were all there. And we lived adjacent to the national park, but also Little Beaver State Park. So it was a part of our upbringing just to be in the outdoors, whether it was hiking down to go fishing at Little Beaver State Park, or it was riding horses on our farm, or just being outside in general, swinging on grapevines, right? It was just a way of our life. And through that experience and being close to these natural assets, the national park, state parks, and Winter Place Ski Resort, I got exposed to a lot of different outdoor recreation pursuits. And just by being exposed to them, picked up quite a few of them, Through my high school years, I became a professional skier, graduated and went on tour, came back to West Virginia after a career-ending injury. And then that's when I really picked up and leaned into whitewater. That led me to having a great network across the state. And when I finished up school, I heard the inkling and like the chatter that was going on around a possible national park designation. And so at that point, I knew that, okay, this is a growing field, this outdoor economy. It's the first time I've heard our elected officials really leaning into this narrative. And I knew that I had some things that I could contribute to my community through this. And so I wanted to lean into it and have it be my career. And so that's when I started working into the nonprofit field, started working for the city of Beckley, where Mayor Rappold and I started the first outdoor economic development office on a municipal level. According to the Outdoor Recreation Roundtable, a national group, was the first on a municipal level in the United States. Yeah. And then from there, moved into my statewide role with the Brad and Alys Smith Outdoor Economic Development Collaborative.
Yeah, so it's like a full circle deal. I mean, you started out in the outdoors and you're still here working tirelessly to advance the whole outdoor economic development movement here in West Virginia. Mm-hmm. Andy, talk a little bit about the work that you're doing right now. What's the thing you're excited most about right now?
Man, I mean, so we've been around for 5 years, and there's been a lot of growth and momentum. We've got some new things we just launched in the last 12, 24 months. But, the bread and butter and the work that we do is really around that quality of place development. And everything we do goes to that work, and quality of place being the thing that attracts and retains that talent. So we have our team, our colleagues on our talent and attraction retention side that run the Ascend West Virginia First Ascent program to keep our college graduates here, and are working on some new verticals to continue to bring those new people here to the state. And Corey and the other members of the team are actively working on supporting our local partners, municipal leaders, local, state, and federal agencies, and nonprofits, and creating the whole ecosystem at the local level that pulls it together. Because it's not just one thing. Yeah. There's not one thing that does this. There's not one area, one aspect that really elevates the community's attractiveness and sustainability and long-term resiliency. So we've really leaned in on thinking about where are the gaps across the state, and how can we as an institution at WVU, not only at the OEDC, but our entire intellectual capital and all our partners and extension and research and Davis College and economics. And I mean, we're bringing them all together. The most important part of our name, word in our name, is collaborative. The second is Smith. We really believe in bringing those partners together. So some cool things we've launched recently is our West Virginia Community Outdoor Driven Recreation Economies Initiative, which involves not only continuing to build world-class infrastructure, infrastructure without outdoor infrastructure, the place to paddle, the place to hike, the place to ride, the place to climb, trails,
bike paths.
You have no outdoor economy without those. Yeah. So we have some of the best assets in the nation. We have more navigable, runnable water, rivers than anywhere else in North America. Or at least in the United States. We have the best climbing in the East. I'm sure some other partners might disagree with that, but with the New River Gorge, Seneca Rocks, stuff here in North Central West Virginia, it's unparalleled. But we've got some areas of improvement we can work on, connecting our trails to our communities and providing more diversity, more progression. So we're spending a lot of time on trails. The core initiative is really helping our partners at the local level and the land management level understand how to steward and manage those. We've been able to bring over $20 million in the last 3 years to trails in the state of West Virginia with our partners. So a huge influx in new infrastructure that we need to make sure we have the skills and the knowledge to protect and take care of.
So it's not just building, it's also maintaining.
Absolutely.
Our land managers are like, this is great, thanks, but how are we going to take care of this? We need bodies, we need knowledge, we need skills. So we're empowering a whole, Corey and our other team on the ground are empowering a whole new group of nonprofits to help be that anchor, to help support those agencies in doing that work. We also have our new outdoor business development initiative. We just hired a new staff person 2 weeks ago, and we're going to be modeling some of the best practices across the nation of helping those new outdoor business and new and existing outdoor businesses start, grow, and thrive here in the state. We're excited about that, to help them connect to resources, provide technical assistance, development, trainings, promotion, and really giving them the opportunity to come together as a trade association and building a state outdoor business alliance to help them have not only the way to connect to each other, but have a better voice to their interests and needs in Charleston and
so
DC.
important.
Absolutely.
Corey, how about you? What's something you're excited about right now?
Well, across West Virginia, we're seeing a big influx of outdoor recreation enthusiasts coming in because of things like having a new national park designation. We went from a national river, New River Gorge National River, to now a national park designation. So what does that mean for the community and the impacts that come along with that, right? In some places of the New River Gorge National Park, there was over a 300% increase in visitation, 30% across the board. But imagine one spot of the national park, somewhere that hadn't seen a lot of traffic, all of a sudden, because of a branding switch, now has 300% increase in visitation. Great benefits that come with that. Also lots of challenges, right? So helping our partners on the ground be able to come up with strategies and plans and build their capacity to help.
Yeah, so
with
that
those
could be
challenges.
anything from like having parking, right?
Right.
For people who want to hit the endless wall trail, there's not enough parking, so they're parking in the road and being towed.
Yes.
That could be a negative thing when you're trying to build something positive. Is that what you're talking about?
Absolutely. That's one of the
capacity?
challenges that you'll see. How do we, endless wall is fantastic trail. You definitely got to see it, right? But there's amazing trails across the national park too that just haven't been elevated and people don't know about them. So how do we distribute that impact so that we can help assist other gateway communities to the national park that have outdoor recreation assets close to them and really elevate them.
I want to talk more about that national park when we come back. This is Positively West Virginia. Stay connected with an unbeatable deal from Breezeline. Voted best in mountaineer country for their reliable, high-speed fiber internet for a low cost, Breezeline is the best gig in town. Here at InnerAction Media, we rely on high-speed internet every single day to ensure we can deliver the best content possible for our clients and when we publish Positively West Virginia each week. That's why we use Breezeline. It's affordable, fast, and they're great people as well. Learn more about Breezeline's internet, TV, and mobile options at breezeline.com. Folks, we're back. We're visiting with Corey Lilly and Andy Williamson with the Brad and Alys Smith OEDC at West Virginia University. Corey, we were talking about the national park designation for New River Gorge. And, is it, I'm kind of curious, the influx we're having. It's not just West Virginians coming to the national park. It's people from across the country, maybe even internationally. Because once you get that designation, people want to visit all the national parks. Is that kind of the way it works? Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, that branding change has really brought in some new energy to the area, but our national parks, but also our gateway communities. So one thing that's really unique about our national park versus other national parks across the nation is the infrastructure, our road infrastructure. When you enter into our national park, you're entering in from a gateway community, one of our state roads. It's not like Yosemite or Yellowstone where you come through the gate of the national park and you're in the national park until you exit. Our national park is unique. If you come in from Hinton, you have to weave in and out of the national park boundary on the road to get to Thurman, to get to Fayetteville, in different parts of the national park, right? So it provides unique opportunities for us and many challenges. It's one of the greatest blessings of what we have, but also one of the greatest challenges is that there's such a great diversity and differences in our national park versus other places. So one of the things that our organization has been helping to facilitate is bringing all those partners together. Each of the municipalities from Hinton to the city of Beckley, Oak Hill, Fayetteville, as well as our counties, our land managers from the federal level to the county level, municipal level, and stakeholder nonprofit organizations, getting everyone in the room to chat about, how can we better leverage the national park? What are our challenges? How can we help support each other? And some ideas that have come out about that is through an experience gap analysis of the New River Gorge. We realize we have amazing whitewater, amazing single pitch rock climbing. We have some amazing hiking trails like Endless Wall that everyone wants to go to, right? What are some additional experiences that we could offer that we don't have? And there are a few things that came out of that study. More RV parks were needed, long distance hiking, ADA accessible trails, and mountain biking. And so we help facilitate these conversations on how do we elevate those so we can offer these different experiences. One of the big projects that have come from that conversation is the New River Gorge Ride Center concept and a New River Gorge gravel project. So what the New River Gorge Ride Center project is, it's an International Mountain Biking Association designation, and there's a certain criteria that you have to meet for a region to become a ride center. So what it looks like is within a 30-minute drive time radius, do you have all of the services that a mountain biking enthusiast would want? Are there breweries, because mountain bikers love to drink some beer? Are there lodging options? Are there bike shops to help service them? Are there a diverse experience of trails, from gravity trails to cross-country trails to bike parks and jump lines, all the different experiences, right?
Yeah.
And as well as for our gravel project, connecting our back roads and how do we offer a riding experience on gravel. It's one of the fastest growing sectors in the cycling industry is gravel cycling. So all getting together in a room, looking at these experience gaps for mountain biking, gravel cycling, coming together and say, okay, when we build out new infrastructure, how can we connect these dots, create a unifying brand that then we can elevate our marketing around the ride center, so that at that point, we're really leaning in and really targeting a mountain biking user group, just like we've done with our whitewater and rock climbing. And we've seen the amazing impacts of that.
Exactly. Man, that's so smart. And I appreciate all the work that's going into that. It sounds like it's going to have a great payoff. For sure. Andy, from your perspective, what's some of the challenges in terms of our state? You talked about, there's lots of moving pieces, lots of players, if you will. What's the thing that you feel is one of the biggest challenges you're facing right now?
I think a big one for us, and one we spend a lot on, you might have heard me already say it, is capacity, right? We're a small state, we work in small communities and many of our partners are wearing 5 different hats. They're on the school board, they're on the nonprofit board, they're professionally running an organization or a business that's trying to really help improve their community. So what we're really trying to do as an organization is help bring additional support to increase that capacity through financial resources, through helping with grant writing, through helping strategic planning, through planning and design work for infrastructure, and of course, business development and growth support as well. So capacity is a really big one that we have, and we're it's not just one. There's not one arrow in the quiver that will be able to solve that challenge.
Many
so
arrows.
a multi-faceted approach.
What, in terms of, creating economic development opportunities in the outdoor sector, what are some of the opportunities that are out there for maybe a small business or entrepreneur maybe thinking about starting a business here in West Virginia? What are some of the opportunities that you see?
Absolutely. Corey mentioned the gravel work in that's being conceptualized in the New River Gorge region, but there's some great momentum already happening in a phenomenal project that's already been launched here in Mountaineer Country in north central West Virginia. The Mom Forest Towns Initiative is already in their planning phase for their network. So for these businesses, these existing businesses and potential new businesses, tapping into these itineraries, these routes that are being curated for cyclists to come explore. They want to experience the community. They want to experience the local businesses, restaurants, and shops. So if you're on one of those routes, or you're near a gravel road, or in a community that connects to one of these networks, be thinking about how do you attract those businesses, the cyclists, to come into your business and spend some money. That's a lot of the point of that, because they're bringing a lot of attention and eyeballs. What Visit Mountaineer Country has done here in North Central, it's brought a lot of attention to the sport, and has even gotten national attention through some of the national cycling entities. So we're going to see a lot more visitation, and tourism is the red carpet to residency. People coming here to explore and enjoy our outdoors are thinking, and we hear it all the time through our remote worker application process, that I visited the state and fell in love, and I want to move there. Help me make that happen. Yeah. So we definitely see that being a big one.
Well, I think you're onto something there too. I think that there's opportunity for somebody thinking about starting a business, or tapping into all the excitement that you guys are creating. Is the collaborative effort of all these different entities, but it's also the people of West Virginia. I think that makes us different. I think there's lots of beautiful places around the country here in America, but I think the people that make the difference here in West Virginia. I think there's a sense of almost, to use your word, collaborative, effort, and people want to see these businesses succeed, whether it's a bike shop or a coffee shop or, a microbrewery or something of that nature. So I think that all that's tied together, and it's not just certain pockets of the state, it's the entire state has opportunity for outdoor economic development, wouldn't you say?
Yes. I mean, if there's one thing we have in spades, it's opportunity right in front of us, and we haven't fully realized yet. And we're trying to help through data, through trainings, to help inspire and encourage our partners across the board, from local businesses to local leaders, to understand how best to do that, and to understand what they've got and where their gaps are, but also learn from our peers around the nation that have already done some of these things and figured out the things not to do, so we can not repeat some of those same hiccups in the future.
Yeah, absolutely. This is Positively West Virginia. We'll be right back.
Your prescriptions are designed to keep you healthy, active, full of life. At Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield, we're making vital medicine more affordable. Because when your prescriptions don't cost an arm and a leg, you can use those limbs for something more meaningful. Because life. Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield, West Virginia.
Guys, we're back. We're visiting with Corey Lilly and Andy Williamson. Both of these guys are leaders in the Brad and Alys Smith Outdoor Economic Development Collaborative at WVU, West Virginia University. Guys, we're talking about all these, massive opportunities that are not only coming, but that are actually right here in front of us. Corey, maybe talk a little bit about how people can get information about what you guys are doing, and if they're thinking about starting a business in the outdoor sector, how they can get connected with you guys.
Yeah, so at the Smith OEDC, of course, we have our website, we have our social media channels. Please plug into those. Please follow us on that, and follow us individually on LinkedIn. That those are great ways to get the algorithm to keep continuing to bring up information to you routinely. We have our newsletter, which is a conduit for our big announcements. If we have upcoming webinar series or resource library that we're going to be releasing, that's where you're going to find out about it first. So please check into those things, and we can take a deeper dive into some of what those resources and things that we can offer to anyone who's coming to the website to want to learn more. And Andy, how about we take a deeper dive into our resource library, our webinar, some of those services that we can offer our community members?
Yeah, I mean, big picture, we realized early on when we got here, and one of my first tasks was to really assess and evaluate the state's outdoor ecosystem, and listen and learn from our stakeholders across the board. And what I heard a lot was, there's so many things out there, I don't know where to find them.
Yeah, exactly.
Whether it be business resources, the state and local level, to nonprofit resources, to land manager training opportunities, and everybody's so busy, right? At that capacity thing.
That's right.
And it seems like today even more, with less resources, less support, and less help, especially at the agency levels, that they don't have time to step back. So our work is trying to make it easy. We are trying to provide the aggregation and a conduit to all of those resources. So Corey and the team have been working behind the scenes to develop some tools to make that easy. Our new business development coordinator will be working to make the business resources more accessible. Corey's been focused a lot on the nonprofit and trail development side through a whole new webinar training series, a resource library. So if you follow our newsletter, sign up and pay attention, we're going to be rolling out. This is a great time to plug into what the OEDC is doing, because we're going to be rolling out a whole new suite of benefits, resources, and tools for partners across the state to really plug in.
Especially for, I'm finding that would be a good value for somebody thinking about starting an outdoor business. Outdoor industry, whether it's a manufacturer or a support service,
retailer, outfitter, guide, support marketing firm like yourselves. First and foremost, just reach out and call us. You don't need to just go to the website. We're here. We do get a lot of requests, but Heidi Pryor, our new business development coordinator, came from the SBC and was a coach for small businesses. She knows exactly how to plug them in. So if you're a business and you want to get started here in West Virginia, reach out to us. Our mission is to help you do that.
Yeah. And Andy, if you could, wave your magic wand and kind of share your vision of where you would like this whole collaborative effort to be, say, in 10 years, what would that look like? What's the long-term vision?
Oh man, so for us, our vision really is every community in West Virginia is vibrant and thriving.
55 counties.
All 55 strong, right?
Yeah.
We do that through supporting all the different pieces of those communities collectively. And that's why we're taking a pretty broad approach. We're not just leaning in on one thing. That's why we're working on nonprofits, working on infrastructure, working on branding and wayfinding, we're working on business development. We believe all of those are key elements of the outdoor ecosystem. So we've got an approach for each one of those. Yeah. You can only work with the willing, so we've got some great case studies out there that are moving. But we're at the bottom of some outdoor list as well that we shouldn't be on. We want to see in the next decade that really elevates, and we want to see that population number start to go the other direction. I mean, that's really what we want to see, and we believe that we're not the only ones working on that, but the outdoors is our one way we're doing that.
I love it, and that's one of our missions here when we started this podcast in 2017 is. So many young people, leave for other states and job opportunities. And I'm a firm believer that, one of the ways we can keep those folks here is through business and creating entrepreneurial opportunities. And I think the outdoors is where it's at. I mean, I'm excited just to have you guys in here and learn more about this and share what you're doing, because I feel it's very, very important.
If I could on that topic, Jim, there are anywhere between 29 and 35,000 open jobs in the state of West Virginia at any one time.
Yeah.
So it's not a matter that we don't have enough jobs. It's a matter of that there's a combination of factors that have those young people leaving. So that's why we believe that quality of place is so important. Opportunity is there. These 29,000 plus jobs are not all short-term hospitality, food service type jobs. There are a lot of really good careers available in education, healthcare, everywhere else across the state. But the quality, there's more factors than just
number.
jobs.
That's a great number.
There's a lot of them out there.
It's amazing.
There's more than just the jobs that keep people in one place and want to stay. And that quality of place in that community is a really key part of that. That's why we're leaning in on that as well.
I love that. Corey, you want to chime in on that as well?
One thing that gets me really excited for West Virginia, and we might be at the bottom of the list of some of these outdoor numbers, but what that means for us is that we can look to some of the people who've got it right across the nation and some people who've got it wrong across the nation, who has went out and implemented outdoor economic development work and has done a great job, preserved their integrity and culture in their communities while still being able to elevate and lean into that sector. And then what are some places that haven't done it right? Who are the people that may have lost their identity in the process? Think of like big tourism towns and things like that, right? So how can we look out, and as West Virginia, we're just coming into the space, looking to the other people who have been in it for the 20 and 30 years, and what can we do to implement in a way that's meaningful, and we can take the plays that worked from the playbooks and be able to do it in a way that is sustainable for us.
Yeah, I think that's great. I think it's very encouraging from my perspective anyway to see that there is purpose and intentionality and a structure. You have some 20 people on your team now, right, at WVU working on this. I think that's fantastic because we do have tremendous opportunity before us, but unless somebody's actually guiding the process like you guys are doing, it's not going to happen. It just doesn't happen, right? You have to have purpose and almost systems and thinking about these conversations and collaborative working together of all these different entities pulling together in the right direction. Is that kind of sum it
there's
up?
an ecosystem to this. I mean, if some folks who might not have historically thought of themselves in the outdoor space, we challenge that, right? If you're a nonprofit in a chamber of commerce, you definitely have a place. Economic Development Authority, a small business, a nonprofit, the healthcare side, right? It's an ecosystem. And that's why collaborative is one of the most important words in our name, is because for the outdoor economy to work, it takes an ecosystem of folks in the community to get these projects across the finish line.
Absolutely. I'm going to ask this question to both you guys. Corey, I'll start with you first. Anytime I have leaders in the studio like you guys are doing a great job. I like to ask a question of leadership. I'm a student of leadership. So Corey, from your perspective, what do you think is the most important attribute of a successful leader today?
Empathy.
Talk about
Everyone's
that.
human, and we're all going through really challenging times. The world's going through incredibly challenging times, and especially across West Virginia, some of these folks have seen some serious hardship and have generations of hardship, right? So how do you meet them where they're at understand what their pains are and be willing to work with them and through that and be patient. And I think empathy takes it
I love that. And, Corey, from your background, being from West Virginia, like you said, down in the holler, you've kind of seen that. You've grown up in this state, and you've seen some hardship. And you're the 10th generation, is that correct? You said West
My
Virginia.
daughter's 11th generation.
I love it.
West Virginia.
Yeah, it's awesome. So thank you for that. I appreciate your insight on that. Andy, how about you? What's a characteristic or a trait that you think it's very important in leaders today?
I mean, at least for me, in my approach, in my entire career, being dedicated to this for the last 25 years, is being a servant. Thinking about the support, my job, whether it be for my staff or my community partners, is really to support them in what their needs are, not just come in and say, here's what you need to do. It's to listen, to understand, to evaluate and assess where they're at, see where their skills are and aren't, and really figure out how to support them in achieving their unique and authentic goals and objectives, and being a servant leader in that vision and that path. So my job as a leader at the OEDC is support my team in being the best they can.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And our team at the OEDC's job, support our communities to be the best they can.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. I feel like that's it's great wisdom. If I'm going to maybe put you on the spot here, but I'm going to ask again, both you. I'll start with Andy this time. Andy, if you were to give some advice to somebody thinking about starting a business in the outdoor industry, what kind of advice would you give them?
I'm fortunate to have been an outdoor industry trade association executive director, and have done a lot of coaching for outdoor businesses over my career, and have been and own one myself. It's hard, but there are a lot of resources out there. So I think the most important thing is to have a big vision, start small, and scale fast. Right? Think big, right? There's a lot of opportunity here. The time is now. There's not a better time to start an outdoor business in West Virginia than it is right now. But be intentional, be strategic, do your legwork. Reach out and ask for help. If I could ask for help, I think a lot of times West Virginians feel like they have to bear the burden on their own shoulders. Our communities tend to kind of be insular. Like we all can reach across the holler and break down some of the parochialism and independence and ask for help. And there's a lot of great support out there, which, like I said, we're trying to make sure it's easier to access that support. But if you're starting one, now's a great time. Ask for help, think big, and do your due diligence in putting together a really good plan, sound financial model, and leverage the resources that are out there as best you can, and they'll help you. And we're trying to create more resources to support those outdoor businesses through this new Outdoor Business Alliance to be more effective at incubating and launching.
Yeah, that's great stuff. I'm going to take your advice on some of that. I think it's sound wisdom. Corey, how about you? What advice would you give to somebody thinking about starting a business in the outdoor space?
Finding talent and keeping talent is really hard. So if you are starting business, what can you do to keep your talent around? Like, this is a challenge for West Virginia as a whole, but it bears the weight oftentimes on our businesses, right? So as a work culture, or if you're setting up a place of work, think outside of the box. Think about why people want to stay and stick around within your organization, but also where your organization is positioned, and then the flexibility that you give them. Big believer of remote and hybrid work and what that can do for a family that's is trying to start in West Virginia, and the challenges that they are faced with. Oftentimes we're commuting into cities in West Virginia. We're very rural. So what if something happens on your family, but now we have this ability to work remotely, right? So adding in that flexibility and really giving a quality of life to employees so that talent wants to stick around in West Virginia and not want to move away.
That's smart. I love it.
And the flexibility to, when the water's up, to be on the river. When the trails are hero dirt, you're out there.
That's right.
We're in this because we love it, and we all believe and live it ourselves. So that flexibility is key in our world too.
Or from my perspective, when the hatch is on, you want to be in the stream.
You got it.
Yep, that's right. Andy has definitely got a message or two from me, like, hey, it's snowing right now. I'd really love to take the day off.
I love it. Well, you guys talked about remote work. You mentioned Ascend. Can you give us a quick update on the Ascend program? Maybe, Andy, you can give us an update on that.
Yeah, absolutely. Almost 5 years into that vision, have had over 500 people move to the state with the path to 1,000. The team is doing great work. We've got 5 locations across the state, 3 co-working spaces already up and running, 2 under construction right now. One in greater Morgantown area, downtown Morgantown, Elkins, the Greenbrier Valley, and Lewisburg. Martinsburg is our Eastern Panhandle location, and right in downtown Fayetteville on the New River Gorge. The retention rate is 90+%. I think it may be 97. I don't know the exact number. It's not my program, but it's exceeding the expectations. And the team is working on really, because Ascend is for bringing people here. First Ascent is to keep our college graduates of Marshall and WVU here to stop that brain drain. And they're working on new verticals to then branch out beyond just that to make sure that other people have access to that program and that incentives. But the program's phenomenal. These people come in to the community. First of all, they're put through a thorough vetting process. This isn't just a free-for-all. They've had I think it's 80,000 applications from all over the world in all 50 states. People want to move to West Virginia, right? So think about that. As sometimes those of us here can be in it, and it's hard to see the positives sometimes. But there are tens of thousands of people who have decided that they want to be a part of what's going on in West Virginia and have spent hours filling out an application and have been vetted. So the team does hundreds of these. Each of the Ascend staff and the talent transit staff do hundreds of interviews each year on that rolling basis. They've got a professional coordinator at each location that's helping integrate them into the community with programming, service learning, fun workshops. And they had a flower workshop, sourdough workshop. They do stewardship training, river cleanups. They have a gear library of outdoor gear at each one to be able to plug in, and a pass to go enjoy many of our amazing assets around the state. So it's a phenomenal program that is just one way that we're able to stop that brain drain and increase our population, bring our population back to what it was in the 50s. Our communities have a lot more capacity for more. Most of our communities have more capacity for more people.
And something that I hear from our Ascend members that really, makes me feel warm, and because it's a big reason of why I stay, is that when they got here, they found a community, and community is something that they've been really seeking in their life. And so they feel at home.
That's awesome. Yeah, thanks, Corey, for sharing that. I believe that we're, as humans, are created to be in community with others. And so I think that's perfect. Very fitting way to wrap this up. Guys, we've covered a lot in this interview. Is there anything else you think we should know about the Brad and Alys Smith Outdoor Economic Development Collaborative, or you guys' personal stories? Corey?
Hey, I think if you're from West Virginia or you're outside from West Virginia and you're listening to this podcast, come hang out in the outdoors, come fishing, come hunting, go down the river, go climbing, right?
Or skiing.
Or mountain biking. I mean, the list goes on and on, right? Just really, I feel that it's something really special about West Virginia. We have a ton of it, and it's a great way to get out with your family and connect with friends. It's, I've built my life around it.
Corey, can I give you an opportunity to plug the podcast that you were on earlier this year?
Sure. The Dirtbag Diaries podcast. It's if you want to get a good background on my story of professional skiing, professional whitewater kayaking, and some of my work, that the Growing Home episode of the Dirtbag Diaries podcast.
Yeah. I love it. I listened to it. I could not tear myself away. It was just awesome. And I loved your story, and thank you for sharing that too. Appreciate it. Andy, from your perspective, is there anything else you think our listeners should know about you or your story?
I just think in general, we're here to help West Virginia. We're not just doing it alone, and West Virginia is going to work through these challenges with West Virginians. And I want to encourage all listeners to step up, to get involved, to join a local trail group, to speak at a city council meeting, to share their interest and desire for this work, this need, this opportunity, and to get outside and enjoy these assets and amazing things. So we're going to get through this together as West Virginians, and we will succeed when West Virginians step up and continue to believe in and support and jump on the opportunity in front of us and ahead of us. So whether it's starting a business, volunteering the local group, and jumping on city council, a park board. Yeah, absolutely. So there's so much going on. Now is the time to get involved, jump in, get your hands dirty.
Yeah, I love it. Our guests once again today have been Corey Lilly and Andy Williamson with the Brad and Alys Smith Outdoor Economic Development Collaborative at West Virginia University. Guys, it's just been a great honor to learn more about what you are doing here in West Virginia, especially in the outdoor space. I love it, and especially with regard to economic development and getting us off of these, from the bottom of these lists that we don't want to be on and getting us to the top of those lists. And I think what you're doing is really great, and I just want to encourage you to keep up the great work.
Thanks for the opportunity, Jim.
Likewise. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you guys. Folks, that's a wrap on another episode of Positively West Virginia. If you or someone you know would be a great guest on the show, drop us a line on our website at positivelywv.com. Of course, we appreciate your encouragement, your comments, and sharing these stories of folks like Corey and Andy along the way. It helps them and helps us as well. On behalf of our entire Positively West Virginia team, including our producer today behind the controls, Mr. Jimmy Murray, I'm your host, Jim Matuga. Stay positive, West Virginia.
We'd like to thank our partners, Highmark West Virginia, Freedom Kia of Morgantown, InnerAction Media, Storymaker, and our studio sponsor, Breezeline, for helping to share these positive stories. If you'd like to become a sponsor of the Positively West Virginia podcast, visit positively.wv.com/sponsor.